Let's look at the inspect tool. We did this in our HTML 101, HTML 201 courses as well. We can always right click on the page and go to inspect. And this is really important because we can click on an element like a body and we can see the styling. So I clicked on right click, inspect, make sure you're in the elements tab, and then in the sub tab, you want styles, not computed or event listeners, you want styles. And then I just select the body and it's got a background color. I can toggle this on and off, or I can change it if I wanted to. I could change it to red, make it really obnoxious. I could even go in here into the body itself and I could say color is equal to white. And let's change that background color back to black. And all I'm doing is clicking around here. So I click in here, it lets me create a new declaration, new property and value. Or I can go in here and I can just click white, edit it. Or I can go in here and change the color from color to background color and overwrite it, background color. And to toggle these on and off, all we have to do is click that checkbox on and off. Now where this gets really handy is in that last lesson, we set a background image on this div. Now, what if you don't know all the values? And because CSS has a lot of properties, it also has a lot of values. And a lot of this comes down to sort of memorization and understanding where you can get your answers from. So you have a background size here. I'm just going to click on contain. It selects it for me, delete. And now I can go to auto, contain, cover, and I'm just toggling through these. I'm just hitting my down arrow and we can see what these look like. So we have three main ones here. So auto is the same as initial, as revert and unset, but contain and cover are different. So we can see what we're looking for here. Now, why this is important is because if we go back to contain and we wanted to change the height, we can do this. We can make that height bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're actually not going to see too much here. But we can make it smaller, and that's just because my inspect tool was in the way. And there we go. I don't know why it made height a second time for 201 pixels, but all I did was click on the original 200 and go up or down. I'm hitting the up arrow or the down arrow. We can also change this to something massive like 3000 pixels, which is going to be huge. Or we can change the height to 300 pixels. And if we want to experiment, that's cool. We can absolutely do that. We can toggle it on and off, see what the default is. We can do all sorts of things. And if you're ever like, ooh, you know what else is there? You can always just type in background and you can see all these different things. There's background attachment, blend mode, clip, color, image, origin, position, position X, and position Y, repeat, it goes on and on and on and on. There's all sorts of stuff in here. And so if you're ever like, oh, I want to learn more about background images, for example, you can absolutely do that by going into your browser. And the nice thing about this is you don't actually need internet for this whatsoever. You don't need to be able to Google it. You don't need to be able to Bing search it or look for an answer on Stack Overflow. You can do all of this right in your browser. Now, the last thing to note is I'm going to change a few of these things. So let's say I get rid of centering and I change it to be this. If I hit refresh, it's going to go back to the default value. And that's because we didn't actually change anything in our file here. This file is untouched. What our browser essentially does is takes a copy of our index.html file and renders it, and then says, oh, this is the stuff that was rendered. Here, you can play with it. It's a sandbox, it's a playground. So when I hit refresh, it's going to go back to the normal page and I'm going to lose my progress. So usually what I do is I'll change something in there and then I'll take all this, copy it, copy, and then I'll just throw it in here and paste. And then I'll just fix up sort of the syntax here to make it a little more readable. And you can see that it's exactly what we have written already. So that's how I make changes in the browser and then copy it into what I actually want to keep. Moving forward, we're going to be using the inspect tool a lot. And moving forward, you're going to want to rely on the inspect tool to see everything that you can possibly see.